Morning, guys. My story today is Crazy Hair Day. We had that a couple weeks ago, didn't we? I wish I would have read this book that day. I didn't think of it. All right, let's see. Stanley Birdbaum woke up early. Bald Eagle Elementary School was celebrating Crazy Hair Day, and Stanley couldn't wait. They had celebrated Pajama Day, Twin Day, and 60s Day. Stanley's favorite was Twin Day because he and his best friend, Larry Finchfeather, had worn exactly the same thing. Do you guys know what 60s Day would be? It's like where you dress up as somebody that lived in the 1960s. And it was a certain way of dressing, but we find kind of funny today. Stanley was ready. He had rubber bands. He had styling gel. And to make his hair perfect, Stanley had 2 cans of Halloween hairspray. Stanley's mother knew just what to do. She wrapped, she dipped, and to make his hair perfect, she sprayed Stanley's hair bright orange and blue. Ta-da, said Stanley. I am a work of art. You are going to be late if you don't hurry, said his mother. I think Stanley likes to be creative with his appearance. Stanley rolled the rubber bands in his hair. He gently tapped the top of his spikes. This, he said, is going to be a day I will never forget. I bet Larry Finchfeather and I will have the craziest hair in the whole school, Stanley thought. As he walked toward the classroom, he heard his teacher talking. And remember, Mr. Winger said, Crazy Hair Day is... next Friday! Everybody stopped. Everybody stared. Stanley felt sick. Larry Finchfeather said, Is that a hairdo or a hair don't? Everybody laughed. Stanley ran to the bathroom. Now that's a problem, right? So we talking stories about problems and solutions. What's Stanley's problem? Oh man, he wore crazy hair on the wrong day of school. He's so embarrassed. A few minutes later, Stanley heard someone come in. It's me, Larry Finchfeather. Larry Finchfeather, who just made fun of me in front of the whole class? Asked Stanley. I was only teasing, said Larry. Some days you tease me too much, said Stanley. Mr. Winger said he wants me to try to be a peacemaker instead of a troublemaker, said Larry. I'm supposed to bring you back to class. I'm not going, said Stanley. I don't know if I blame him. If you stay in here, you'll miss being in the class picture, said Larry. I thought that was next Friday, said Stanley. Crazy Hair Day is next Friday, Larry said. Today is school picture day. Problem is just getting worse. Stanley rolled the rubber bands in his hair. He gently tapped the top of his spikes. This, he said, is going to be a day I will never forget. Larry Finchfeather suggested that Stanley try washing his hair in the sink. It won't help, said Stanley. Halloween hair color lasts for days. Well, it really doesn't matter. It's only your hair, Larry told him. If you don't come out of here by the time math is over, I'm coming to get you. You can't stay in here all day. What do you think? Does he have a point, Larry? It's only his hair. It was very quiet after Larry Finchfeather left, and Stanley wondered if maybe he could spend all day in the bathroom. He ate his lunch, he drew pictures, He even timed himself to see how fast he could flush all the toilets. 32.5 seconds, he shouted. A new world record by me, Stanley Birdbaum. Stanley had counted up to 121. 121. 122, 123 drops of water from a leaky faucet when Larry Finchfeather came back. Beep! Time's up. Let's go, Larry announced. Picture time. If I'm in it, I'll look like the class weirdos, said Stanley. Remember 60s Day when Mr. Winger had the flu but came in anyway? Said Larry. He said the day wouldn't be the same if we weren't all together. You have to come. I'll give you 5 minutes. What's he gonna do? What will he decide? Larry Finchfeather left and Stanley Birdbaum thought about 60s Day when Mr. Winger had taught them all those great old songs. He remembered how on Pajama Day everyone in his class had worn PJs and slippers. Then Stanley imagined what his class picture would look like without him. Big hole in the middle without him there. That's not good. Let's see. He decided to go back to class. To keep from being nervous, Stanley made up a song. Crazy hair, how I wish it wasn't there. Stanley felt someone touch his shoulder. I was just coming to get you, said Larry Finchfeather. What if they laugh at me again? Asked Stanley. Everything will be fine, Larry whispered. I promise. I feel like there's going to be a way to solve this problem, and I feel like it's coming soon. What's the solution going to be? Stanley stood in front of his class. Everybody stopped. Everybody stared. Stanley rolled the rubber bands in his hair. He gently tapped the tops of his spikes. This, he said, is going to be a day I will never forget. Do you notice? Did his class help him solve his problem? How did they do that? How did they help him? I see all kinds of crazy things on their heads. It's not so hard to have crazy hair day when you're not alone, right? His class knew that. His teacher knew that. And so they all dressed up for picture day. And Stanley slept happily ever after. That sounds like a community of people that knows how to look out for each other.